Uncertainty continues looming on the 2018-2019 academic year as far as the northwest and the southwest regions of the country are concerned. These two regions of the Republic of Cameroon have been hit by socio-political and security crisis for close to 3 years today, and after two difficult academic year, another academic year is around the corner, but things are proving very tough and uncertainty continues looming. What's going to happen come Monday, 3rd September 2018, when students and pupils will be returning to school? We now take a look at the atmosphere in those two regions, notably in the opaque city of Limbe, in the southwest region of the country, with our reporter Davidson Maimo.
The 2018-2019 back to school in Limbe, just as in other cities and towns in the southwest and northwest region, is a shadow of itself. With school materials at the market, no customer to buy.
As you can see, places are very scanty, and we are almost to the last market to school resumption.
At the Limbe New Market, business persons dealing in school material, such as shoes and bags, say business is in a standstill.
Customers are complaining about the prices. That crisis also have money. They don't have money to buy.
Business is too slow all around because there is a financial crisis. Everybody is facing financial problem. So the market, the purchasing power is low.
Business persons dealing in second-hand books are nowhere to be seen.
You can look around, you don't even see those people who sell books. We should have them here, but they are not there, so we don't really know what is happening.
At the bookshops, managers says books are in stock, but still are waiting for parents to buy.
You see, we have books in stock, mostly the books on the national book list, which are in stock, but parents are not coming to buy them. And we, of course, must always have books in stock. We have all our shops all over have books in stock, and we're waiting for parents. They are not coming, and we hope that maybe by next week, when school fully resumes, parents may be coming to buy the books.
Some anonymous persons hold that the back-to-school fever is low in Limbe, just as in other towns in the southwest and northwest region, due to children who have been relocated to other cities and towns east of the Mongo.
In the meantime, some education stakeholders around the southwest region of the country converge on the regional capital, Boya, to discuss the next academic year. They came from different corners of the region and they met in the regional capital and put the issues on the table in order to find a way to a hitch-free back to school come Monday, 3rd September 2018. And we caught up with the Southwest Governor Benau Kalebila shortly after that meeting. Derek Jato sends this excerpt for the news.
What I told the teachers is a word of encouragement. They did it well last year, and they are mobilizing to do it better this year, because all of us, we have realized that education is necessary for the construction of a society, a community. You still remember how students, children and parents were happy for those who enjoyed success in the last school year. Those who were not there are regretting. That's why all of them are mobilized to go back to school this year, and we have to accompany them, particularly the parents. We have to sustain the effort of teachers so that they feel that what they are doing is very important, not only for the state, but for each and all the parents. So we are appealing the parents to give the teachers all the support in the remote area where most of the time they are threatened.
From the southwest region of the country, we go up north to talk about several schools in the far north region of the country that are in a very difficult situation as a result of floods. Few days to back to school. A case in point, and there's no Wisconsin Government High School, Katwal, in the Jamari division. Details in this report. Floods are threatening the 2018-2019 school year in Government High School, Katwal, in the Jamari Division, far north region of Cameroon. The school and the entire locality of Katwal is hit by floods. Government High School Katwal was hit by floods and the classrooms of Upper Sith and Lower Sith were destroyed. We are homeless. Our animals were killed by floods, and the few things we had were destroyed. Another problem that could negatively affect back to school in Government High School Katwal is poverty. Students are there, but the parents are poor. When crops will be ready for harvest, we could fulfill our duties.
Nous reconnaissons la difficulté que les parents ont.
We recognize the difficulties faced by parents. As I speak now, we have not registered any student. The difficulty is real. Many of the inhabitants of Katwal are farmers. Generally, they wait for harvest to come and register their children. So I think as from Monday, some parents will surely come to register the children.
Je crois que à partir de lundi, certains parents viendront sûrement inscrire les enfants.
Parents in Katwal are sending a distress call to the administration. If registration could continue till December, it will be a good thing for parents, for there are many of them who are striving for survival. We are asking the principal to extend the period of payment of school fees to second term. Many schools and communities in interior areas of the Far North region and other parts of Cameroon are in similar situations. In the Nyong and Kili Division Central region of the Republic of Cameroon, preparations are equally going on ahead of the next academic year starting Monday, September 3rd, 2018, and stakeholders from different parts of the division recently met to cut the teeth and dot the i's for a hitch-free school year. Innocent has more.
They are teachers in the Seka in the Nyong and Kili division of the Central region, preparing their body ahead of the start of the 2018-2019 school year, come September 3. After a long holiday, muscles need to be flexible and the body in perfect health throughout the school year. Amongst them are personnel of the regional and divisional delegations of sports and physical education. These sports work and exercises are part of activities of the 25th Sectoral Conference of Personnel of Deconcentrated Services of the Ministry of Sports and Physical Education in the Central Region. It also aims at promoting sports and physical education in Cameroon from the updates of the new law on July 11, 2018 by President Paul Biya.
At this point, it is important that actions in favor of the heads of external services of the Ministry of Sports and Physical Education as well as actors of sports leagues of the Central Region would permit the mastery of this new text by all actors, so as to reform the Cameroon sports movement in all its components.
The new text, which orientates and organizes Cameroon sports according to authorities, is clear justification of the theme of the 25th Sectoral Conference, which is the implementation of the new law of the organization and promotion of sports and physical activities in Cameroon, and emphasis on the control and follow-up of sports and physical education under the supervision of the competent physical approval with school establishments.
This term certainly has been chosen for reformative purposes, which leads to the exchanges from the different platforms and results arrived at from this will serve as answers to your professional preoccupations.
With this in continuity, the sports personnel are sure teachers will overcome challenges and record a smooth and successful academic year.
And as seconds, minutes, hours, and days boil down to the next academic year, holiday makers are traveling back to their areas of residence in order to return to school. Come Monday, we now take a look at the intense traveling activities across our national highways as holiday makers return to their areas of residence. With for me, Armstrong Sander.
How they spent their holiday is the key topic for discussion among holiday makers in Cameroon as they move from their holiday destinations to where they will have to study for the new academic year before classes officially begin on Monday, September 3rd. Students and pupils who choose Bacham village in the Bambutus of the West region as their rural destination said they had a rich experience of rural lifestyle. Spending time with their grandparents, these students had the opportunity to study the mother tongue, learn farm work, and equally what they qualify as interesting stories from grandparents around the fireside. The holiday equally gave them an opportunity to help their grandparents retain few words in French. Though interesting, the students, majority of whom are from the city, had difficulties coping with some aspects of village life. The long-distance walks to and from the farm, fetching water and wood over considerable distances, were realities they had to deal with while in the village. After spending a memorable holiday, their journey back home is met with other challenges linked to transportation. At the Baleseng Junction in Bacham, vehicles are scarce, provoking an increase in transportation costs. Drivers justified the hike in transport on numerous checkpoints found along the road. Despite the increase in transportation, some passengers say they are willing to pay as their major concern is a safe journey. They have had a unique experience of rural lifestyle and can't wait to share their experience with mates while in the city.
A member of Cameroon's upper house of parliament, Senator Regina from the northwest region of the country, has declared that government still has a long way to go in effort to reduce maternal and infant mortality across the country. She was speaking during a donation of equipments to a hospital in the northwest region, as Stella reports from Bamenda.
According to experts, to reduce maternal mortality, prevention and treatment policies that provide health, education and nutrition services to women should be at the top of the agenda. Increased access to family planning, better accessibility to maternity services, improvement of health systems, increased antenatal care coverage and skilled care during childbirth is vital to reducing and perhaps preventing maternal mortality in Cameroon. It is against this backdrop that Senator Regina Mundi led a delegation of women to donate some delivery kits and other basic equipments to the Mother and Child Unit of the EQUINOXE Sub-Divisional Medicalized Health Center.
Maternal death is one of the saddest things that you can think about. There is no reason why this day and age any child should grow up not knowing what his or her mother looked like. The Ministry of Health is working in that direction, but what they are doing is not yet enough. Otherwise, they would have met the sustainable development goals. That has not been fully met in this area. As a senator, that is one of the areas where I would want to push. I want to see that government continues to increase its efforts in eradicating maternal deaths, and also to be able to sensitize society that the public should also know their own role in the reduction of maternal deaths.
The gifts, comprising cesarean section kits, episiotomy and circumcision kits, will go a long way to ease the work of the medical staff who have been battling with old and worn-out equipment in the discharge of their duties.
And me as a doctor who does cesarean section, sometimes we are faced with the challenge of old forceps, old things to use, but she's offering us brand new.
The women who had attended antenatal at the hospital joined other expectant mothers coming for antenatal care as they sang and jubilate together. Senator Regina Mundi and her team equally visited the hospital wards and handed gifts to the newborns while encouraging the women to continue feeding their babies with breast milk.
Despite efforts by the Boye Council to upgrade the Mile 17 motor park, it is still in a deplorable state, and a reporter, Derek Jato, was there. He compiled this report.
Mile 17 bus station of Boya is not only busy with people and their activities, but also with debt. Waste management in this busiest port of the southwest capital city is yet to be given any meaningful attention.
The park is really dirty. There's no trash can around park. So even if you're eating gano, you have to throw it down, and nobody will complain because there's nowhere to throw it.
And that is not all.
The park lacks water. This park lacks water. And then we also have just one toilet that controls more than 10,000 travelers that use this motor park on daily basis.
And Young African Leaders Initiative, YALI, has noticed this mess.
We use Mile 17 as our target because we have identified that there's a problem.
Reason why the members of this organization came down to Mile 17 bus station to campaign by example.
So we have come to sensitize the public, the general public, on proper waste disposal practices by doing it by example, by cleaning the Mile 17 park.
An environmental friendly educative step well lauded by Mr. Eko Charles, the Secretary General of the Boya Transporters Syndicate.
And all of us have seen the wonderful job that they have done. We think that by the grace of God, we will continue to share the same partnership.
Leaving the Mile 17 bus station after the cleanup campaign, these volunteers left behind their recommendations to be implemented.
But what I found that I could like that should be addressed is the drainage system of this park, which is however poorly developed and poorly planned.
If trash cans can be put in several places around the park, so that will ease the work of making the place clean.
For a better Mile 17 bus station.
Coming up, we take a look at efforts of the administrative authorities in the city of Douala to improve on the functioning of the 6 local councils making up Cameroon's economic capital, Douala, and also the development of the local communities for the well-being of inhabitants of the different municipalities. Officials of some of the councils were commissioned into their functions today by the senior division officer of the Uri Division, Joseph Bertrand Maché. That was during a ceremony at the prefect's office in Bonanjo, and we're talking about the Secretary Generals of the Douala 3 and Douala 1 municipalities. In the Douala 3 municipality, Mabingo Hortense Adele was installed as Secretary General, while in the Douala 1 municipality, Mbasi Teres was equally commissioned as Secretary General, while in the Douala 5 municipality, 2 accountants were put installed into their functions by the senior divisional officer today.
Municipal mayor, because they are the main collaborators, meant to animate the accounting part of the council and the administrative part of the council. Mayors and municipal treasurer or secretary general are not enemies. Secretary generals and municipal treasurer are appointed by the state. It's obvious, but they are main mayors collaborators. They have to fully involve within these administrations. They have to help mayors. As I said, if the secretary general is the legal advisor of the mayor, the municipal treasurer is his main financial advisor. And as I said, their relationship should be well conducted for the well-being of the council, for the city, and for the well-being of the population of their various councils.
The AG is the handman of the mayor, because the mayor cannot work without AG. All things pass through her, and I think when we are together, things go well. All innovation is through AG, because she has to see whether the law is applicable. The mayor can bring something like idea, but the agency is going to see if the law is applicable before implementation.
That was the Senior Divisional Officer of the Reed Division, Joseph Bertrand Maché, and the Mayor of the Douala 3 Municipality, Job Theophile Kwapnang, speaking there. Now, coming up in the second segment of this discussion, we're going to take a look at back to school in the two Anglophone regions of the country. Stay with us. Thanks for joining us on Talking Points. We are receiving a member of the civil society in the Republic of Cameroon, an educationist and head teacher of Rise and Shine Nursery and Primary School. You're welcome.
Thank you, Babula.
Now, the Anglophone crisis has been pulling on for close to 3 years today. As an educationist, what evaluation can we make of the impact of these crises on education in the Northwest and Southwest regions in particular?
Thank you for this wonderful opportunity. The Anglophone problem started 2 years behind, and today we are talking about 2 years of academic year buried already. And then what I am proposing is that in part the effect is too much on the youth, because for now I don't know whether the youths are the one fighting for the parents or the parents are the one fighting for the youth, because they ask the youth to remain home instead of them to go to school. So my call is that if we keep on putting our children home and then the government maybe remains stubborn, as for example that of Sudan, Southern Sudan, when they were fighting for their independence, they struggled for more than 31 years. If we keep on struggling and then we go for 31 years, Babila putting a child to put into birth today, and then the child will grow up 31 years, never seen the forward of a classroom, that is not a good future. So keeping our children home is just an indirect way of beating ourselves for somebody's mistake. Someone has committed a mistake. Someone has marginalized us, the Anglophones. And then we cannot maybe telling the person that you have done something wrong by beating ourselves. So my own call here is that we should send our children home, back to school.
Yes, sending our children back to school. But how? Because the situation on the ground is quite difficult.
The situation is quite difficult. What I'm saying is let the government of the Republic of Cameroon, because wherever you go, people are saying we are running away from the military. They should call for the military to drop down their weapons and move to their camps and remain there. Let them also, I'm also calling for the Amazonia, whether they are the one asking the children not to go to school or they are the one threatening the children or the armies are the one threatening the children. My plea is that they should allow the children to go back to school. The Anglophones are fighting against marginalization. And then if we keep our children home, that is another way of planting another seed of marginalization, because now if finally the Anglophones will gain an independence as an Amazonia state, who are those to take over powers? Those who will take over powers are those schooling in different regions, or those schooling abroad, the children of the rich, the children of the poor that are there in the village fighting against this particular situation. They will not have any place, and then the issue of marginalization will come back, because they will be saying that we fought for, and then you are coming back to take power. And then what is happening in Southern Sudan will continue, because they gained independence. After 2 years, they went back into civil war, Southern Sudan within themselves. So we are pleading that this should not.
Yes, you're inviting parents in the Northwest and the Southwest regions to send their children to school come Monday. But the problem is that at the moment, movement within those two regions is quite a difficult thing because of the uncertain climate that reigns. Nobody knows what's going to happen the next second if he sends his child to go to school. So in this kind of atmosphere,
I am pleading on the government, because one, the government, they started the problem, because this problem started on the 21st of October 2000 with the teachers and the lawyers. And then the government started this problem to become an Anglophone problem on the 8th of December with the CPDM movement. And then my question I've been asking is, whether the civilian well or the civilian dress, whether it is an emblem of the nation. So I am calling on the government to drop their weapon, because everybody, whether it is the Amazonia, nobody can see. But when you see anybody calling about any problem, he's talking about the armies, the soldier, the military. So the military should withdraw from wherever they are in the Anglophone regions and go back to their zone where they were.
You think demilitarizing the two Anglophone regions will ensure a hitch-free academia?
That will, I'm sure of.
But that's what government is not ready to grant.
That is what I'm saying.
Even the fighters are not ready to drop their guns.
First things here is, if the government is pleading, because from the news here we talk about the governor of the Southwest region talking about the children should go back to school. The government have a responsibility. The Anglophones were asking for something. And then if they give that to the Amazonian soldier, will drop their weapon. And then the military also drop their weapon.
All right, thank you so much, Lapana Tasha Mama, for coming. You are a member of the civil society. You are an educationist and head teacher of Rise and Shine Nursery and Primary School. Thanks for joining us on this edition of the news. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for staying with us. Goodbye.
Thank you.